Hello, welcome everyone to this channel. My name is Janet. I'm working through the King James's Bible. Today I'm in the book of Kings, the second part, working through chapters 4 and 5. So make yourself comfortable and we'll begin. So we begin chapter 4 with a woman who has lost her husband. Now he is a son of one of the prophets and he has a lot of debt owing. So the creditors are after her now for the repaying of this debt, and they want her sons to become slaves to pay it off. So this woman is in distress and she goes to the famous prophet Elijah for some help. And he asks her, "What do you own right now?" And she says, "All I have is this pot of oil." So Elijah tells her, "Go to your neighbours and get some glass jars, and then fill the jars with the oil, take it to the market and sell it there. Once the oil is sold, sell the jars as well. That will bring you enough money to pay off the debt." So that is what she does. She pays off the debt, and she even has enough left over for her and her sons. So now we follow Elijah. He goes on a journey towards Shunem, where the Shunamites are, and he meets this great woman, it says. And she wants to give him bread and for him to eat with her because she sees him as a man of God. And every time he passes through Shunem, she wants him to sit with her and have this bread. So he does. He sits with her and has this bread. And eventually she speaks to her husband and she says, "We need to build this prophet a room so that when he comes through each time, he's got somewhere to rest." So they build this room for him, and when he does travel through, he rests there. Now, because of her kindness, Elijah asks his servant to go and find out what this woman needs, like what she would want. And they discover that she has no son. So Elijah tells her that she is going to have a son. And then a year later, just as he prophesied, through the Lord, she has a boy. Now one day the boy becomes very ill, and she calls for Elijah's help. Now by the time he gets there, the boy, unfortunately, has died. So Elijah prays to the Lord, and he prays so much that the Lord brings warmth into the body of this boy, and the boy suddenly comes back to life. So joy, there he's done another amazing deed through God working through him. Elijah then returns to Gilgal, and on getting there he finds out there's this great famine in the land. So he gets his servant to make a stew, and he gets him to go and get these special wild vines. Now the people see these wild vines and they say immediately, "It's death, no, we can't eat this, it'll kill us." They don't know, they're not familiar with it. So Elijah gets some flour, mixes that, he gets his servant to mix this flour into the stew. And then he gives it to the people because there's no harm then in it. The people eat it, and then a man comes from Baal Shalsha with 20 loaves of barley bread. And Elisha asks them to feed the 100 people there with these 20 loaves. They're like, "It's impossible, this isn't going to feed them all." He asks them to do that as the Lord has requested. So they do, and everybody is fed, and there's still enough left over. And that closes our magical chapter 4, the work of God through Elijah, bringing such great transformations for these people that he's come into contact with. So let's see now what happens in chapter 5. So here we come into the world of a Syrian commander who is known for his greatness, and he serves the king of Aram, and he's brought the people many victories to the Syrian people. Now, although he is known as this well-regarded leader, he has, unfortunately, leprosy. Now, a young Israelite lady who serves his wife tells Naamah of the prophet Elijah and the miracles that he has done for people, and that she is assured that he will be able to cure him. So he asks the king if he can go, and the king agrees. He gives him permission, and he gives him a letter to give to the king of Israel so he'll know why he's going through his own country. So Naamah sets off with the letter and with some gifts for Elijah the prophet. Now the king of Israel gets upset when he hears about this because he thinks that the king Aram will expect now. He's giving him the responsibility now to cure his commander. And he doesn't want that responsibility. Whereas Elijah talks to him like, "Don't worry, I am going to heal this guy, so just no worries about it." So this calms the king down. Now Elisha doesn't actually go and see Naaman face to face. Instead, he sends messengers to tell him to go into the Jordan River 7 times and then he'll be cured. Now Naaman gets this message and he's not happy at all. He's like, what? I want to be seen by him. There's no way a river is going to cure me. Look at all the rivers are joined. What makes the Jordan any special to any other river? This is ridiculous. I'm not doing it. And so his servants around him assure him, it's not much to ask. Just try it. Go into the river 7 times. See what happens. I mean, he's a great prophet. So many things he's done. So they convince him and he's like, all right, I'll do it. So he goes into the river 7 times. And immediately after that, he is cured of his leprosy. Now, with this amazement, he goes to Elisha and he's like, oh my goodness, I know now there is only one God, and that's the God of Israel. And I will forever now worship God. But he says to Elisha, the only problem is the king is going to expect me to bow down to the God in the temple of Rimmon. So am I okay to still do this? And Elisha says, yes, that's fine. God will forgive you. So great. And he offers him a gift. He wants to give him something, but Elisha refuses. No, he doesn't want anything. Just go on your way. So as he's setting off, Elisha's servant, who is named Gehazi, goes towards Naaman. He says, oh, Elisha has asked that you give him 2 lots of clothing and a talent of silver for 2 of his prophets. So Naaman gives him this and an additional talent of silver. So as Elisha's servant returns, he knows exactly what has happened because, he is a prophet of God. He said, my spirit followed you. I know what's happened. You've taken this from Naaman. And he said, for this now, you are going to have leprosy. The leprosy now will pass on from Naaman to you and your descendants. And once Gehazi walks outside, immediately his skin turns to leprosy. And this closes our chapter 5. So we've had some amazing things there happen via Elisha. Very much 2 chapters focused on the work that he is doing through God himself. Will this continue to carry on in these chapters? Well, I don't know until I start reading them tomorrow. So thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. And I'll be back again with more chapters within the Book of Kings, Part 2. Hope to see you then. Bye.